And about an hour ago, the U.S. Supreme Court rejected an Ohio death row inmate's request to stop his execution. Attorneys for convicted killer Alva Campbell still insist tonight that he is too sick to be executed. Campbell is scheduled to die tomorrow morning in the state's death chamber at Lucasville. NBC4's Ted Hart is live tonight outside the headquarters of the state prison system with continuing coverage on this story. Ted?
Well, and Colleen, state officials have already said that they've found it challenging to find a usable vein on Alva Campbell. Campbell suffers from a multitude of health problems, which is making it a little more complicated for the state to execute him. The state says it will provide a pillow to prop Alva Campbell up to help him breathe so that he can then be put to death.
But what does it say about us when we're going to take this guy and strap him down and kill him?
Death penalty opponent Abe Bonowitz says Campbell and other murderers should be sentenced to die in prison, but not executed. Franklin County prosecutor Ron O'Brien, though, called Campbell the poster child for the death penalty. This was Alva Campbell in 1972, heading off to prison for 20 years for the murder of a bartender in Cleveland. After his release, he committed a string of armed robberies around Columbus. Then in 1997, back in custody, he convinced doctors and jailers that he suffered from hysterical paralysis until he suddenly got up from his wheelchair outside the Franklin County Jail, took a deputy's gun and carjacked 18-year-old Charlie Dials. That triggered a massive police search.
We think this person's in grave danger. He assaulted a deputy sheriff, took that person's gun, fled, commandeered a vehicle.
Campbell murdered Dials, stole another vehicle, and eluded police until he was spotted and arrested on the east side. He was tried and convicted and sentenced to die. That was 20 years ago, and that's another reason, Abe Bonowitz says, a sentence of death in prison makes more sense than execution.
Of the 27 people lined up to be executed, 5 have been there longer than 30 years, and 12 longer than 20 years. And when we're telling victim families, wait until we kill them and then you'll feel better, what we're really doing is forcing them to put their healing process on hold.
And several members of the victim's family, of the Dials family, are scheduled to be among the witnesses for the execution, which is scheduled for 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Live on the West Side, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Ted, thank you so much. And of course, Alva Campbell was transferred this morning to the prison where his scheduled execution will take place and requested his last meal. He ordered pork chops, greens, sweet potato pie, mashed potatoes and gravy, and macaroni and cheese with milk, and that will be served for his dinner tonight. Now, we have also learned the brother and sister of his victim, Charles Dials, will witness the execution. Kayella Dials and Joseph Dials are on the witness list, as well as Dials' uncle, Michael Brewer. Campbell won't have any family present tomorrow. 4 attorneys, though, will witness on his behalf. Now, NBC4 will also be there tomorrow. You can download the NBC4 News app to get updates sent right to your smartphone. Just search NBC4 in your app store to download for free.